The triumphant release of The Bodyguard marked the end of Whitney Houston's musical hiatus. The soundtrack has sold over 8 million copies and yielded 3 top 5 singles. Still, Whitney was somewhat reluctant to make her initial foray into film.
I was kind of apprehensive about The Bodyguard when I first got it because it was such a large role with such a large actor.
The part read, she stands up, she's neither beautiful or anything, but she's immediately recognizable. She's a superstar. And I think it's really difficult to ask an established, even a very experienced actress to play a superstar. Somehow we just don't compute it. We know it's actor playing something.
And then I got this call from Kevin saying, you know, I want you to do The Bodyguard with me. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now, you know. This could either make me or break me.
I called her, I said, I have this movie. You're who I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of anybody else. You know, it's almost yours to lose or to take. Why don't you read this? And she called me back and she got it. She understood.
Despite its impressive ticket sales, The Bodyguard, as expected, took a beating from the critics. Whitney was spared most of their venom, though, and the film established her as an actress with box office clout.
I knew the critics were waiting like vultures. That's what I knew. I knew that it would be picked apart, you know, from every angle.
For a simple movie that I thought I was going to get away out of Dodge with, finally did a little commercial, you know, date movie. You know, there's this little bit of controversy about, did you realize you've done a movie with a black person? And I said, well, yeah, I kind of did, you know. Do you realize you fall in love with her? I said, yeah, man, I saw the movie.
It was very simple, and it was about relationship, and it made a lot of people go back to the movies and hold hands and cuddle up and, you know, be boyfriend and girlfriend again. You know, I got a lot of that, you know, response, you know, from a lot of older people who said they went to the theater, you know, and they hadn't been in a long time because there wasn't a movie that they really wanted to see, but when they went to see The Bodyguard, it brought back a lot of the romance. I enjoyed doing The Bodyguard. I really did. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about another form of entertainment. Music has a rhythm that's natural to me. It's like talking. It's like speaking. You know, when you do a movie, it's just a slow process. You know, and there are beats. There's not a rhythm. There are beats. You know, say your line, stop. You know, get on your mark, stop, don't move. Go to the next one. Don't you move.
Action! The Bodyguard also gave Whitney a first-hand look at something others are all too aware of, the lack of work for people of color in Hollywood.
There is a lack of black Americans in Hollywood, period. And I don't think that's a secret. Forget about being the star or being the one in front. I mean, that's a whole nother gig. How about the behind-the-scenes stuff? The lighting guys, you know, the riggers. You know, every day it was like, you know, don't put lighting over here. You know, you make black people look like they got noses that go from here to here, you know. Put the lighting right here. It's the most beautiful lighting in the world, you know. But I think it was difficult, you know, for them to conceive that because they hadn't worked with many black people. The Bodyguard kind of dictated what I was going to do, you know, after, you know, its run. So I figured, you know, I wanted to do a tour, but I didn't want to do an arena tour. I wanted to do, you know, small houses and intimate places where I could feel the people and they could feel me, and I wouldn't have to worry about that person way up in the nosebleeding seats and go, I wonder if they can see me, I wonder if they can hear me. You know, it's that kind of tour. It's not, you know, my regular kind of arena thing. I think people have waited to see me in this kind of setting. This time it's going to be really simple and very classy. I'm a singer. I'm not, you know, there's not going to be anybody jumping around on my stage and flying down in, and, you know, and spaceships and stuff. It's going to be real cool.
Houston's first opportunity to perform songs from the Bodyguard soundtrack, including the smash I Will Always Love You. The song, which spent a record-setting 14 weeks at the top of the charts, was originally written by Dolly Parton.
This song was very personal for Dolly. You know, she wrote it from her personal experiences. And, you know, that's kind of touchy when you're singing someone's song, you know, who wrote it from their heart, you know. But I could get into it, you know, because I could certainly, you know, understand the lyric. And it's a love song, you know. It's about love. It's about relationship. It's about bittersweet relationships, you know, which we all have. Country audiences know this song by Dolly, so I was kind of like, you know, putting my flavor on it was, you know, I was like, well, I'm going to send her the tape and just see what she says, because I was, you know, concerned about her opinion and what she thought of it. And when I got the response back, she was just elated, and it really made me feel great.
The soundtrack also provided Houston with the occasion to record her early mentor, Chaka Khan's signature anthem.
I've always wanted to do a Chaka Khan song, because I grew up listening to Chaka, man. Chaka was like, she was it for me. She was the ultimate. I got the opportunity when I was 16 to do a background session for her with my mom. It was the most incredible moment. I'll never forget it. And I hadn't seen her since I was 16 when I did I'm Every Woman. So when I invited her to come and do the video with me, and she graciously said yes, I was thrilled. And when she got there, I mean, I hadn't seen her in so long, and it was like, Chaka, God, you know, isn't this incredible? I mean, you know, I'm doing your song. And she said, Whitney, she said, I got to tell you something. She said, you're the only one that could have. I was like, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy, you know? It was really, really cool.